And Kong, of course, going to be playing that Neon, so look for him to get real big impact with that.
Yeah, I mean, but this puts a lot more weight on Icy's shoulders as that Yoru, as that
this comp doesn't get much info.
Here needs to be really smart about his timings because
Trent's got to do a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you're EDG, you're just looking at this right now, you're probably thinking that taking over towards A is good.
Very well on this map, are very
That would be
similar,
A
at least with
defaulting
the
a
Yoru,
lot.
So they've definitely got some good ideas to base it off of. You've got
Are they going to
Viper in
shut
there
down
now as
A,
well, so
I
you can use
guess,
those walls
with a
to kind
TP
of
Omen
obscure
flash?
what you're trying to do with the Yoru a little bit better and things like that. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to work for G2.
Yeah, let's see what they got.
This could be pretty spicy.
On paper, they've got everything.
Going into this one, right?
There's just a couple of things that maybe the comp doesn't do as well as the Breach comp, but they got Viper as well, so they kind of have some stuff they do better.
Casters, Bren, and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, it's a lot resting on the shoulders of these G2 players that this Gambit, and I'm sure that they put time into, at least with this composition on Haven, but the fact that it needs to pay off here because you've already started a map down. It's unorthodox for sure.
And EDG's actually looking really competent on this map. I liked what I was seeing from them.
Hard agree.
EDG are going
I feel like I'm changing my sound in my ears so much. These two are go quiet and loud all the time.
For China. Their flood defense on this map is beautiful to watch.
4 classics with armor. Okay, so EDG on defense, G2 on attack, and they go back to the Vipers. Back to the VIP comp for people that aren't aware. Jonah P is the VIP. You get Viper over towards the site. As long as you have smoke, pretty much win the afterplan. It's
actually both teams faking
kind of as simple as that.
Because EDG were making it look like it was only nobody playing A when suddenly there's 4 players over in that side of the map.
Let's test it out on a pistol. We get over towards site. We have smoke. Yeah, this is going to be a real test because it's going to be 4v5.
Steady hands there for the kill onto Chichu, but catching this in theory and at least in practice too, Trent does get that kill.
The smoke goes over towards spawn. We 3 pass and go garage. Dude, is Icy not just going to get wrapped on?
Put the squeeze of the rest of his team onto these players here. Icy still comes up with one just before the tray, but they're missing these timings onto one.
I like this from EDG though. We went everywhere where the Viper smoke wasn't. Then do we make sound garage and we walk through the smoke?
Let loose along with the paranoia in through the back. Valen could not stand a chance against it. They know where to last.
Hey, this was handled really well, by the way. I didn't think. I don't
the ideas that they had coming
don't massively think that G2 played it great. When they took garage here, you should probably have this guy that's behind watching.
You know, they've had to experiment.
But I still like how EDG handled it of just let's take garage or reactively take middle.
Note as well that Jonah uses his orb to place that over towards spawn and make the retake very difficult. Where did EDG come from?
Yeah, that's the thing. They know this smoke's going down over towards spawn, and so they just go everywhere where in theory they actually have a chance to get out.
You can tell right from the pistol round that they're comfortable playing against Viper comps.
3-0, bro. The Chinese teams are dominating the pistols.
Smoggy potentially going to be tested here.
We had 4-2 earlier, 3-0 here. Logic _ Valor, thank you for that, mate. Appreciate you again.
Yeah, they want to grab an orb, see if they
Still
can
not saying that one.
Players out of position, maybe get a kill. Meanwhile,
Icy gets the Marshal out, Marshal Sheriff. Henry MTV _ Thank you so much for the prime, bro. Thanks for the 7 months.
Against this Viper wall. It's aggressive.
Appreciate you doing that.
Bonkers though. I mean, going for the flash reclear.
Okay, that is bonkers.
It's a gun given away, but Leafy's got his back wide open, so Simon will happily take that time in against him. Aftershock is good too, and through the back, Icy trying to TP and make a play happen. But it's
only lose the 1 gun on this.
EDG. Not too much damage and danger into it. It still keeps 3 of these players intact. With at least a few of the guns.
They're doing fine though. There was 2 players that didn't even buy into that round, so they kept all 3 pieces of weaponry. They're doing fine. EDG's bonus is going to be very potent.
They just changed the Marshal out.
And we've yet to really see G2 a good opportunity to get in.
That goes there.
Yeah, so should be one of their better strats next 2 rounds in a row. G2, let's see what they got.
For Fnatic's comp, the Yoru makes space for an ISO. That doesn't exist here. Someone else on G2 has got to step up.
Oh, late trip close.
Going in and trading these out.
The soundbait here out towards A lobby.
Still making it feel like it's only nobody home on A.
That fault line still being held by Simon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Leaf at least heard or saw this go down early.
A little bit of mid-rounder, making sure that they can break some of this util. Drone forwards. And through B. All the trip's going to be dealt with here.
Good default at the moment from G2.
Down
Break trip close, they break trip garage.
It's good defaulting.
Oh,
And they had A pressure.
Here, you silly
And
Billy.
Simon.
Dropped, man. He's taking a risk to try and get that mid-round information. Stun connects, but Leaf's covering.
Okay, well,
Over the shoulder.
Bacon was talking about the fact that they like to insta-re-clear as soon as there's like drone or some kind of pressure. And when you hold the pressure, it can look as stupid as that does.
He is the one in danger.
Oh, this is shout out to G2. As much as that looks mental.
Doesn't connect onto too many more of them as well. They want to make a good go of things here, but Trent's going to be swinging this with the might of the rest of his team, and they do put a stop to any sort of bonus round aggression.
That's a lot of economic damage done towards the end there.
That was a perfect example. Yeah, this was a perfect example.
It's
something that G2 didn't manage to do on
breaking all of the Cypher utility, like very good slow defaulting. The
on
thing that you
Icebox
expect from G2.
Straight away here.
They
out
that push from Simon, which was absolutely ill-advised. Considering that's how the round began, the fact that they've done serious damage to the
increased the sound. Yeah, I just increased it there. It should be louder for you. I did it on OBS.
That's a really solid bonus in the end, results-wise for EDG.
Let me know after this round if I need to up it more.
Probably going to be seeing more of the same here from G2.
So they did pretty good damage still.
EDG fully disrespecting.
Got 4 people here. We've got 5 people here that can't buy.
He wants nothing to do with it.
All goes in, smokes down as well. Instant reaction is 3-person push behind, and these two get funneled into Leaf, who made face.
Already sucked up position in through garage here. They hear the footsteps as well. EDG just crossed up. Nobody not expecting like Leaf could already have repositioned there. Fake into the TP. Kang. Not going to be setting his eyes there for long, but not also going to be winning out the fight. He's going to be dropped. And at this point, with just Simon and Smoggy left alive, forced to save these rifles.
And Simon's petrified. He thinks that Leaf is going to be coming around behind him. In his head,
it is a great round.
Leaf was
great
just
rounds.
pushing out garage.
Got everyone here that has to eco.
Window or pushing around behind him. He thinks he's
2-4
fully
on
stuck
top of
in
this.
that spot.
Guy's gonna get 1,000.
We can tell that Leaf had decided not to take that particular snack and had gone off in a different direction to make sure that the.
What are these names, man? Sliggy's Big Toe. Thank you for the prime, bro. Appreciate the 4 months. Thanks for the support.
Getting a
about the name, but
stressed out in these final 2 rounds with the correct ways to respond to things. It was a beautiful insert, though, from Valens calling to get Leaf into that garage window position. That was lovely. But what we've seen from EDG in China is that they enjoyed flood defending on C. And
but did G2 pick Icebox? Isn't that a bad map for them? It's also historically like a pretty bad, I say historically, this year it's been a pretty bad map for EDG.
Now I think one of the reasons that they are feeling like they can't do that here is because they've got 3 people.
It was like both of their weakest maps.
Into the round. They can never
so it was more them just picking to EDG
than
maybe like their map.
On the A side,
and it was maybe what Saint said a little bit as well in chat earlier, that they kind of got the confidence from Paper X. Did he not?
There's no TP necessary. Nobody.
He did not.
Punish for the hubris. Yes, it is these weaker weapons in the hands of these EDG players, and they want to try and make usage of them. But
Icy did good here, man, because the time short also. That was cool. Hitch, thank you for the prime, man. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. Yeah, who do they choose to get the plant to? Because Trent here picks up the orb.
It's going to be weaker.
Oh. With the plant as well, we get Sova ult for next big buy rounds.
Yeah, it's not necessarily weak, it's slow. I think that's the biggest issue that EDG are currently having. In an ideal world, they would want to flush out A lobby, clear it out, and then get back to doing what they're doing on the rest of the map.
G2 just going to be looking.
They got so much money that probably Leaf goes a little bit aggro.
2 away from a pretty big ult.
Yeah, it might start swinging in like 5-10 seconds or so.
Don't really have to worry too much about losing some of these guns. Taking a jiggle. Simon spotted. Taken out.
You can just see him holding heaven.
There
we go.
Right through the wall.
Insta spam. Nice. 1 away.
To add some additional context to G2's
Do we time out?
We haven't seen it very much.
A lot of ults here.
We've only seen it twice, I believe. Both times playing this over Breach comp, which was a surprise to us. Because when G2 were playing in Tier 2 under the Guard, they were known for pushing forward this Viper Omen composition. and really selling new ideas and ways of playing it. I believe they invented this version of the Viper Wall as well, whereas other teams were using one that goes over towards
the attack wall. Yeah, this is the guard attack wall.
A lot of other teams stealing their ideas, loving the way that Jonah P and Valen were playing on this map.
You're already seeing the difficulties for EDG to get a handle on that A lobby control. Unless they fully commit with bodies and a bit of utility to clear it out early. The Viper Wall.
Deploying drone.
Yeah, I think nobody needs to be using his drone from short to clear out that area while someone else.
I mean, they're heavy expecting the, you know, the TSM, like a classic Americas play, where you ult here, then you split over towards B, garage, and actually go into C. That is what EDG is set up for right now. We literally have G2 hiding in this corner in spawn, so that once the ult gets fully committed to, he just swings around the corner and kills him. So EDG still done a lot of homework into this one, but the change up from G2 might haunt them a little bit.
Now they're starting to get a move on. Now they're starting to get here.
Bolt line's good. Aftershock even better.
Yeah, I mean, he's dead, but
himself out of there with the util. Yes, at least now the roll in front of clears it. It's an open, an empty side at the end of the day.
Oh, it's an early tap.
Force out the first wave of things, which happens to be the bullets. Snake bite, lay it out on top.
Hard retake.
Alongside it, all grouped up. There needs to be an extra element here from EDG if they want to try and navigate this spot and situation.
Yeah, next tap they use Silver ult.
It's going to get that tag onto Valen. Going to be util used to clear him out here. Wall blocking the way, but holding it down out through garage and whipping the rifle around. Spraying.
Hey, I mean, very, very nice.
Praying. It was
yeah,
all quite
and
precise
EDG
at the end
here,
of the
the
day here for G2, but very well organized and
backfires a little bit because
I
they're
mean, a lot of
playing
ults
B
to try and deal with and get through there to even get themselves into a plant position.
Like they weren't even close to kind of flood
any
in.
of them out. I mean, in terms of the post-plant ultimates, sorry.
Shots, man.
The ultimates that G2 had in their back pocket to make that post-plant a checkmate situation, they didn't even have to use them. Specifically the Hunter's Fury, but Leaf with the kills even got his lockdown online. That's going to be another amazing one to add to the arsenal. So, tag timeout called here by EDG.
Yeah, and they can kind of scrap a lot of their anti, I'm pretty sure.
This is now 4 rounds in a row, likely 5
Might even be a timeout to be like that and just be like, well, everything's new,
really
let's adapt on the fly, what do we got?
No. There haven't been any opportunities.
Talk about the fact they can't let them over towards the site. If they get the plant down, they're going to win the after plant.
They tried once to get
so they can maybe be a little bit more aggro.
Line in A lobby.
AWP would help a lot.
That didn't work and the flank didn't pay off. It seems like they've been disinclined to go for it again. And unfortunately, what that means is G2 have just got their run of the map. Right now, it's almost like there's no defense for the first minute of the round as long as they don't go into a site. They can go garage.
Can EDG win champs? I'll let Saint answer that one. He's the biggest EDG fan there is.
They're not getting contested.
No. Free reign to just break all the util passively laid out across the map here. So Chichu's trips, there's no play on.
His answer is it's not a question of can.
Must be having a nightmare as well.
You got a follow up for that, Saint, or is that all you're giving us?
Within the first 40 seconds, G2 just taking their time with that one.
It's a question of how dominant will the final be.
Following noise cues and knowing exactly where the hits are coming through.
Honestly, I respect just how in on it you are.
When it's getting slow to a crawl like this by G2, they're forced to spread their players out, and you can't really play to the advantages of the composition. Here's bit of a push, looking like they're trying to feign, like they're fighting over A lobby, at least with the early stun, and Kang is immediately getting the hell out of there, but it's just a cheeky play.
But EDG at the moment, just straight up default, they recon, they have a smoke behind, they know that they have all of A main control.
This is going to allow them to rotate other people off. You know, this line that he's on is going to allow the defenders to stack more over towards C rather than keeping those 3 cemented.
Recon gets shot. I like this though from G2. If the recon doesn't get shot, they walk into sight. Recon got shot, so they cancel this one. Walk back and try and take space over towards A once they cause a lot of pressure from C.
Using it, but already understands that the rotations have to be coming through fast at it. Nobody's going to need some help now. He's going to be swarmed into this short position.
We go. Let's see what Kang's got.
There, but it's going to be running short. Kills need to be found from it. The stun is almost perfect. Yes, indeed it is.
Bro, nobody hit a shot as well on sight, by the way.
They've got spades of it to try and refight those areas, and what a time to do it. And Trent. Oh my. 30 seconds left into the round, but surely you can't do it in a 1v3.
30 seconds left.
Spike hard committed into the middle of nowhere. EDG's
there is a lot of upgrades down here. Obviously, they're going to win fast, but
time on the clock, surely.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Unless Unless there's a weakness that crops up here for EDG, but they just catch it. The contact as Trent is sneaking around. So there's a thrifty win to put them onto the board.
And that's what EDG have been
Very
looking
nice,
for.
man. Yeah, everyone got upgrades
Is
as
that
well. Shout out to
setup
Kang. The timing of the recon here was really good as well. Recon kind of meant that there's...
That couldn't have been better
Yeah,
from Simon.
kind of meant that literally no one could trade on it. Leaf just ate the stun.
Valen's the only one that could have
Yeah,
bailed
the
him out
support
of
of
that
Yuta was
situation.
great. Recon
And
stun.
he whiffed and also had Leaf jumping around in his face. Couldn't even see the player that he was shooting at, really.
There.
Small.
Hey, we got something
bump in the
aggro.
road
We're going
there
up
for
against
G2,
4
but if
ult,
they
so they
get right
decide to
back
go
on
something
things
aggro
here
over
with
towards
like a
middle.
Euro
Stun,
World
breach
Sobro kind
flash.
of combo,
No.
then they won't be too worried about dropping it. Kang looks to disrupt.
So it was reactive off some things. So they wait.
Time
Okay,
as well,
they were
that
waiting
turret's
for the
gonna drop
turret.
down. Kang, you are
You
right
are
in the middle of
in
nowhere. He was
trouble.
above the glides, but he just cannot escape.
Where's the
fight
rest of the
G2 were just
team, man?
squaring up to.
Simon.
He knows he has to get aggressive
Where's
in
my
that spot, though,
stun?
because if you just let G2 fight, that ult combo is going to be deadly.
There's meant to be a stun there. But I think there was maybe a duel over towards window, or because the timing was off. Like, they delayed the turret for so long, and then Kang, they obviously had a plan once the turret goes out. But I think over towards B, I don't know if there was a little bit of pressure at window or something, but it messed up the timing. So they didn't have their util out. And I think he opted for a flash in middle for someone that faced window or something. Either way.
It's a risky play that does not pay off for him.
It backfires a little bit.
EDG will go for it.
They messed it up. Yeah, I think E2's like delay of it messed it up for sure.
If they can't, this is looking
They
like
might
a
have done
save
something
round
at window
already.
that I missed as well.
But
Simon's missed.
with a couple kills, with 1 or 2, suddenly it becomes worth going for.
Especially with the damage done to Trent already. Simon's got
No Viper smoke here? Where's the Viper smoke? From B.
Oh,
they're doing the Viper smoke to...
You have a plan around it.
Yeah, they do this Viper smoke
blind
to
and there's
create
the smoke.
pressure, but we have the camera that
Down
goes
and out
above.
here. Time is going to start to tick here for EDG. Smoggy waiting for his win cons to try and play himself into this spot. Blinded up, matters
A great
not.
flash from
It's for
Icy.
G2. Got that discipline, making sure to play together as a pack.
Good
And
money
it
for
only hurts the
EDG
economy
though.
there
So
of
good that they
Simon.
could maybe even drop Kang and Op if he wants
He's
to.
the player with 250
I
credits
do think
that
an Op
might
would
be
go
feeling the
pretty hard
squeeze a
here.
little bit. The others might be able to scrap together a buy. We'll see what decision they end up coming to. But yeah, that's the reason that Kang goes so aggressive at the start of the round. If you allow G2 to get into a spot, they're just going to Yoru ult. If the Yoru spots somebody on site, they can Solver ult afterwards. Very difficult to dodge that. Lockdown also to try to open up sites. They've just built up such big ult combos that they can use here to try to close out this half. We're in round 9 already. And EDG have actually ended
Been a
up
whole
going for
mini game
half
with the
buy. They
smokes
chose
over
not
towards
to
B. Oh,
force.
really? Smoke went in, blocked the cam, and now they have a higher cam. D2 haven't found the
It's the
higher cam
danger
that
of
sees the
committing to
side.
the retake. That's why I said it might have just been a save round, but they were baited into going for it after that pick on.
Okay, they decide to go for a low buy on this one. It's still a very good low buy, and it's still a scary round for G2. One of the first times that EDG gone like super aggro over
control
to.
out towards C as well. There's a lot of information to give the rest of EDG.
They go aggro everywhere. They kind of know that it's a B right now. Or they're at least sitting in spawn.
Thrown out. Used pound for pound again. Broken, taken out. Smoggy's
How many?
Still holding spam.
Okay,
Expected.
nicely done. He knows
It's a
because
play
the
by
guy at
G2.
long hair
And they
so
don't
put so
overcommit
much
into
emphasis
it.
on trying to shoot the drone, and you're
Kang's
only
gone
really
off
doing that
angle.
if you're trying to
All
protect
he needs
someone.
is the one kill, but running away
Like
ahead
normally
of
you
it
would
as
just let the
well.
drone
He's
go,
stunned,
right?
he's
It doesn't matter too
to
much.
play
You can
himself
just play
out,
further back
and he's done so
and just
with
run away.
perfection.
But because he's
Nobody right
putting
from
so much
behind as
emphasis on
well,
actually
making
trying
sure
to
that this
shoot
is
it.
really putting a squeeze
Whoa.
down. That's ludicrous.
Wait, what?
EDG and winning thrifty rounds.
Yeah,
Iconic.
they've done another one.
Also, I am loving these fault lines from Simon. Oh my god,
Dude.
they're coming from Narnia.
He's cooking.
Straight out the wardrobe. I mean, he is miles away when he's throwing these. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
Have a
As
look at the
soon as
minimap and see
contact's
where he is. He's on B.
And he's throwing that one out.
He's
to make sure that nobody can
far
swing
away.
off of
Oh.
Trent.
Yeah.
Both of them there as well.
Trent jumps through there, and his movement indicates
So
somebody on
the thing that
G2 is
happened from
supposed to trade
G2
that out.
here
They
is
can't, they're
normally you
stunned.
expect like
Another
if they go
beautiful
aggro like
moment
this and they know there's
from
two
Simon
people
with his
here,
support of
most
utility.
teams
It
won't
really
go
show in the
aggro
stats.
on C. It's normally
See
like
it here.
one aggro instead of a double aggro.
It's been a number of
But
rounds
because they
now
know
since
they're
Leaf
doing
has
like a
had
passive
this
default
lockdown
waiting,
online.
that's why they can
could
do.
have tried to build
And
a round.
gets a kill, they're not
trying to get
expecting
it
him to
into a
be here, picks
position,
up the gun and
deep down
snowballs.
short. tuck it into Bunny.
And pretty much what I was saying is
Instead,
happening.
he's
The
been
fact that they're
covering
going
the
to
flank.
carry on being super aggro.
Really in a position to use it. Might
tell
be
you
getting
Also, one of the
challenged
ways you can
soon.
play against the
Yeah,
Viper
that
comp,
flank
it's so strong in the
coverage may be
afterplants
coming
with the
through in
Viper
this
smokes
round.
here that you
No
can
one's
push
watching this.
behind.
Nothing to take
Wanna go
point
behind
and
A
contact
if they
from
go-
it. The players have already pushed up from G2 straight into mid with the drone. Again, they are none the wiser.
Yeah, they've
3 players
completely
now.
owned this.
Kang leading the charge.
Leaf,
the
alarm
spearhead for
bot,
the
still in
team, and
hand.
striking right where it hurts. It's G2. You're going to be left reeling, and you have to pivot. You have to hard react now into the A site. It's the only option open. Already they've got these kill trip setups, and Smoggy's already repositioned. The reinforcements have arrived at that. And ult committed up onto the high ground.
Is
This
a
is an awkward
Viper ult?
position for G2 to be
Done
in.
some damage. What was this?
But he's pushed back and away from it with the damage done onto all of them.
Seconds left.
And already tacked up. A kill to be
Definitely not going to
claimed.
Viper ult
Jonah P.
anymore. I think they hit some
Valens
nice
right there,
shock
and
darts
Kang gonna be
from
found. Simon's right from
nobody,
behind.
maybe.
Again, putting the squeeze and just not expecting it.
So big, so good right now.
EDG are coming out with some brilliant, unexpected
And
moves.
G2, if they
turn the
don't
tide of
talk
this
about
map
it, you might see the
completely.
coach do a
The
timeout
rounds that
here
they've
because they
won
need to talk
have
about
not
the fact that
been
they've gone
based off
aggro.
having
And if
some
no one's mentioning it in
immaculate
comms, you're probably
defense.
calling a
It's
timeout.
been based off putting people in unexpected positions. Kang tucks
Yeah, I love
down
it, man.
into a spot. Simon stuns off the back of it. This round, they get a triple push coming out of C. They're finding the gaps in G2's expectation and G2's literal gaps in their defenses, if you want to talk about that round.
G2 have had
Slipping
4
in
ults. Yeah, they
behind
keep going
Leaf.
aggro because of the ults as well.
A timeout call for G2. I think they could have been fast playing some of these ults. At this point, I mean, you're not going to get them back in the half.
No.
Right? So it comes down to finding the right moment for them. But
I mean, you got them so early on, you're basically going to get 1 ult per half at this point.
yeah,
It's-
are you going to really be able to find moments to use Lockdown, Hunter's Fury,
Coach
and
hit the
Viper's
players,
Fit
yeah.
all in one round?
Yeah.
Probably not. That's why I was advocating for using them in round 9, round 10, maybe even earlier. But all right, it's 5 apiece.
Simon Masterclass. Yeah,
EDG.
I mean, his stuns have been on point
Balloon
apart from that
slightly
one
with the
round
win of the
where
pistol.
Kankan went aggro on.
But still with a nice
Garage.
comeback here to even things up. G2
Yeah,
with a
we're still
scrappy buy, but they
Still
are
holding
gonna
on to a lot of
force.
ults at the
Okay.
moment.
In the danger zone potentially, but there's only 2 rounds left to play for in this first half.
So now if I was
Guardian and the
EDG,
Bulldog are
I would
not
probably
great
be
in these
thinking
kind
that
of
they're
spots.
gonna do this one.
What are they going to go for?
Wonder if they're like on top. Interested to see where the Cypher goes.
These rounds. Could be
But
trying
I also think in the
offset against the conditioning
the
that they've been
thinking
laying
the
down, which is that slow
timeout,
play. But
yeah,
maybe
he's
that
at least close
will
for
get
it.
read by
I think in the timeout that they
Do
said that we
increase the
scrap all
tempo.
the ante and we
Is
just
on
play
the wrong
normal.
side of the map. But no, G2 decide to play this one
Yeah,
pretty
Recon
similarly
doesn't
to
get
the rest
shots,
of
they
their
kind of
rounds.
know that short's clear.
Slowly.
The alarm bot actually
that
goes
alarm
down
bot?
towards long
Let's
as
see.
well.
Not sure what happened with the alarm bot in the previous round. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
to it.
I mean, Leaf just held on to it, and I don't know if that was like their way of checking garage or what, but
Tripwire destroyed.
through spots outmost. It's the trip here for the defensive setup. Kang's at the up though. Great line of sight.
There.
Good awareness though from G2, already jump spotting this one with the smoke in their face to try and feign like they're crossed
hey,
up here.
a
But the
lot
lockdown's
of
not
this
gonna be
is the
stretching
timing
into
of the
back section
timing
the
of.
C site.
Okay,
Kang will be
Simon
able to
probably
hold
has
his
a pretty
ground,
good
stand
stun.
it down. Hunter's Fury
Oh,
now into the
Simon's
corner. That
miles
is a
away,
nice
can't
set
stun on
play.
this.
Haven't seen that
Oi,
one in
nice
quite
from
some
Trent.
time. Reminiscent of EG on Fracture back in the day. I see we'll be able to get that plant down as a result of that one. So baiting him in, but he hadn't cleared Smoggy, but the trade is intact. And there, Valen rewarded with it. That patience that's being played, and with the pit drop down into the
and this
back.
was just
desperately hunting for the neural theft. He does get
you
it
can
off
tell
and stays alive.
G2 in this timeout just like all together. Make sure we have
with that
our
information. Stun into
alarm
the
bot
corner
down.
again.
Let's start
Global
using these
util,
ults
it's been
to
good.
secure the
Trent is
round.
basically dead to rights.
EDG still
cleaned
doing
up
pretty
just from
good
that utility
against the
time.
Viper, right? They never retake
side will
over
become a
towards
problem.
spawn because the Viper
Spike's
just
ticking
has it on
away. G2
lockdown,
with
so
another
they
one. Pit's
take
still
all
up,
of
though.
this space and they
Don't
win
worry
some
about
duels.
this one.
It's not planted for
I
the
mean,
pit.
maybe.
It's playing out wide here to tap.
Maybe they
Knows
can
he's not
still-
playing onto the contact. Jonah P is going to be
But-
weaving in and out. Still going to be coverage. There
Whoa.
he jumps around the corner, but it's Diamond who saves the bloody day.
Whoa, it was close, man. It was real
Time getting
close, yeah.
away.
Because obviously they had to go
0.36.
re-clear all of this map
That's
control.
a ridiculous situation because there wasn't a player on G2 there that really slowed that down. EDG probably
Viper
could have played
slowed
that
it
half
down.
a second quicker and still had the same result. I mean, you know, Valen maybe slows things down just a slight amount, but it's all just
Killjoy
based on
ult,
when
Silver
G2 gets
ult.
on that defuse.
Chat, was there an Omen ult?
Heartbreak.
They used 3 ults,
Wasn't
right?
quite there early enough.
Oh, there was an Omen
Final
ult
round
that
of the
I
half.
was not
Feels
on
like
top of.
EDG
Okay,
could
so
have
all
had
4
that one in the
ults.
bag.
Yeah, definitely a timeout to be like, well, guys, we should probably keep a simple plan. Use your ults here. Make sure the alarm was down towards long. Turrets here.
Set Kang into the appropriate spot. Icy spam down into the corner here. Smoggy though is going to be going down. Fallon will not leave
Dude,
that
look
one
at Kang.
uncontested. Nobody.
Look at Kang.
Paranoia's gonna
Oh
be
boy.
But at least with the draw, no way! Backstabs in play. Kang with all that positioning. 6-6. That is an explosive
6-6. Okay,
finish
G2.
to the first half of Haven.
I mean,
And one
it's not
more
too bad. It's kind of
situation
the
where
average that you get on
EDG
this.
find the gap.
Problem is
Bait them
G2
into
haven't been
big
winning a
fight and
pistol
short,
yet.
Walk down mid. Kang is right there for the backstab. It looked like G2 had all of their pieces prettily set up throughout this half. And yeah, EDG have still responded.
Salvaged it, man, just from the scraps as well. Forged the path to 6-6, and still, you got to think it's anyone's game.
Yeah. Who won pistols? Yeah, 3-0 pistols, EDG at the moment. An attack-sided map. It's a little bit weird when it's the Viper comp though. Like sometimes you can really lock it down with the Viper comp and the fast floods over towards Saints. Did I see the artist tweet? No, I didn't see the artist tweet. Probably something about him moving to China. Something along those lines, I guess. What's the fast update on the Lev game? They just kind of got outplayed a little bit on the 2 maps. Bind was really good. Bind was a really, really good watch. Then Ascent, they just stomped them. And Sunset, Trace were never going to win that.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like G2 were in complete control, to be honest, at the beginning. It was only EDG grabbing that pistol round, but the thrifty win on round 7, and a string of rounds that really followed as well, just from that lack of respect that
Including
EDG was
another
showing.
Thrifty.
That's
I just said China is the only one region in Valorant. Bro, literally flip-flopped within the space of what?
And expectations again,
A day?
kind of a skew whiffed. EDG, what we do know about this team is that their execs are nasty good, very well drilled and tempered. And they're going to be putting that pressure and applying it straight to a lot of these G2 players.
Yeah, EDG actually found success there in a very different way to the way that they were winning in China. And I think that's a sign of a team that's doing well on the global stage, where you're able to take not just your strengths that we're getting you across the line.
When do teams take timeouts on eco rounds? Because you can do something crazy in the eco, and also you can do like a bit, like whatever adaptation you want to do. It's not as like obvious, if that makes sense. Because everyone's so busy focusing on like the eco rounds, sometimes like whatever the change up that you're doing for the big buy rounds, it's not as obvious. Whereas like if it's a really obvious change up that you need to do, and then you're doing it on a buy rounds, like everyone's so fresh in their head, they know exactly what's happening. Kind of outsmart.
And that might seem a little
sometimes you need
if you're not familiar with
sometimes you need
Valorant,
to do it in a timeout. Sometimes you need to do your adaptation
Americas,
like here.
But they did
You're changing your stuff up here just because obviously again, if it's really obvious what you're going to be doing, the other team know that.
Like they should have been lifting that trophy.
Also, it's fun on ecos, like to have some kind of idea, something that you think is going to work well, and it's a little bit freer doing it on an eco. Like if you think, let's say garage for a second, do you think that there's a one-way smoke here, but you know they're not holding it? Like against an eco, you're probably more likely to walk through the one-way breaker.
G2 would certainly set that
kind
of
stuff that you think could work.
It's going to be
You can kind of take a risk on that.
Responded by G2 to try and push back.
Like you might have a player that is 80% of the rounds you look at their setup would work. You could do that and call it on an eco.
That might have just saved G2 a little from that.
And then do like a bigger macro change up for your
they still have paranoia.
Okay, 3-0 pistols at the moment for EDG. They take over towards A.
Nicely sitting with
that sounds at least now.
5 seconds until the fault line comes back and the recon.
So the timing's been weighted out, so EDG do have that.
And Trent.
Never go with it.
Trent should be good for this. Oh.
Causing problems. Kankang's just going to.
No, I knew as soon as I said it and he moved position that he was going to go down.
Damage, really.
Yeah, as soon as the smoke starts getting a little bit low, he lost his positioning on this. Still pretty hard to get over towards the site. Recon scans the guy in the corner.
Still lighting him up, and the crossfire setups are definitely enough. G2 can budge, didn't get rooted away from this spot.
Shots, man, nicely done from Trent. Like I said, full confidence the whole time that Trent had that unlocked.
In the second half,
they get the first pistol, 1-1.
Fantastic paranoia as well from Valen. Didn't get baited out with that first wave of utility because
also just a different setup from what G2 normally do, right? It's normally Viper smoke here, wall over towards C.
Everyone that could have
this is the first time that we see the Viper smoke over towards A long. And honestly, if this team kind of just heavy XX through long and not up short, this should probably own them.
It's basically swinging through this Viper's orb. It's a different spot, more of a hard anchor spot rather than a flood defend for A. Also, we haven't seen G2 play with Viper in a long time, so hard to know if this is standard or a specific read into how EDG exec.
There's a lot of unknowns.
A hero Marshall for Kankai.
Alongside everybody at home.
It's cool as well. They just want to get the orb, so they just do one-way smoke over towards
C. As a lot of people do. Most teams are going to be running that.
Go.
Throw a smoke over.
Okay. No chances from Trent. We're not even gonna
very quickly
like that. Not even a little jump peek onto that one.
Reveal the fact that he's holding on to the
a little bit of pressure over towards B, and then we head over towards C. And we have this wall, which means you can flood in. That's why we get 3 people back at site.
But they don't really have the weapons for it, so we'll have to be util to try and save the day. Leaf peeks up and over, realizing he wasn't favored. Going to be backing away, and a pause is called at just the right time. Refighting into the back of the site will not turn up with absolutely anything. It's cleaned up.
One of the better ults to try and get online early as well from Jonah.
Jonah P himself.
Right, just 1 armor rebuy.
Nobody saving in that round, though. They went for the full buy-up. A lot of respect being shown for EDG. But that also means no Vandals, no, Phantoms to carry forward. So this is light weaponry that G2 are coming into their bonus round with. It's good, though, to play scrappily inside smokes. So that's something that EDG are going to have to watch out for and dodge here. And EDG would love to get off on the right foot. Losing this round.
Pinch their wall a little bit. They do their wall from here now, so it leaks over towards middle.
Flash through into mid, couple of stray shots.
Like, it used to always leak a little bit over towards garage and middle.
Bit of posturing from Kankang. Overall, though, nice and slow. Drone timing, I believe, missed there by Trent. He's not going to be able to see too much information, and a shot whiffed by Icy. Looking to get posted back up onto that one. Trent is going to be under so much pressure once more here with a drone into his face. He's going to try and take a timing past it. He's way ahead of it. Question is, does he come up with any results as well? The fuel timing.
wait. He could put much damage.
In through into the back as well as the dart. He doesn't reveal it. Bulldog spray is leaving it at that, but at least he claims the kill. A trade down, snakebite up and over the top as well, only applying a slight amount of vulnerability, and as they attempt to play and swing off of that.
Sova savior for both of this. We're going to go recon that really saves them because this guy can get multi-kills, and then we have the trade. The breach can actually get under heaven as well. There's
EDG showcasing that they're happy
was it Omen or was it
exec to try to get through
I'm pretty sure.
Viper orb.
Pretty sure it was
But if they're going to sit there, drone, and then execute afterwards, I thought he teleported straight into the trip there.
There's a chance.
Yeah, if they're going to do that kind
of play,
close
to absolute disaster. Yeah, the recon is everything.
To rotate over and reinforce the A site.
That's Valen looking to do some damage. That's quite
good.
Nice.
It's great. It turns out to be a really good bonus. It's pretty much the same as what we had in the first half. 3 people.
Nobody can drop a teammate.
Yeah, as you can see, no one's checking it. Like, he's absolutely owned it. It may be Smoggy looked like he was going to check it 4th guy in. That's about it.
Icy is going to pick up the operator. Saw it in a couple rounds from Kangkang, but he didn't really find too much value with it playing on back plat. See if Icy can make the difference. When you're playing against a team that doesn't have that Viper wall, playing A long, super good with an op.
That's a bigger miss than the Marshall one before.
Delayed as he's trying to activate it.
Yeah, Marshall one will let him off. That one, big miss. Big slide though from Kankang. Maybe they weren't expecting it.
Stun as well. All up in the face of G2. Makes it feel like they could have been going with a bit more pace off the backside of it.
Same round again. Yeah, so got to look at the G2
Drone
comp
in the
and
mid-round, use the clear.
hard for it to
Nobody's gonna
get like
use it.
info.
See if you can gain any more
Right,
information.
normally when you
Jonah P,
play
they know
the Viper comp, you
Viper's
have a
dropped
Sky
down,
comp
at
and you
least
can
from
like
the one
flash
avenue.
over the top here, and it used to be the Sky that has like
Nice
perma
cage,
flashes.
threatening like there could be alert going on.
So
Jonah P buying?
the overall game plan from EDG to
Doesn't really
take
seem-
A control,
He does.
create the
I mean, as many
create the
fights are
question
about
mark
to be
here so that they
occurring
kind of have
here.
to go
Nobody
aggro
wins
with
it out for a mid.
bodies like
Valen
this.
gone
And you just hold
peekaboo.
for them is
The head off, Smoggy.
it's a nice
Backs away
game
and
plan.
plays his live. Trent as well,
EDG.
baited into a one and done
I
position.
feel like
in case there is that
EDG have
re-exploration
done very
by
well
EDG.
considering this is the first time
If you
G2
had a
going the
stat
comp.
of players fault lined,
Like on defense, they were going aggro a lot. On
that one
attack,
aimed for Valen, but
We have
catches
this
onto
where they're
Trent.
taking over towards A.
Like you said, he's
Either
kinda
the
stuck in
coaches
short right now.
or
Leaf's
people
gonna
in
be
the
asked to do
server
a lot.
doing really well.
He
Like
has to be worried
plan-wise.
about this B lurk, and he has to try to cover the C site as well. Viper's down, so Jonah P can't pop that wall up and try to help them flood defend in here.
Yeah.
And Leaf's getting squeezed.
Similar to the
It
other
really
Viper
is.
comps.
Right
I mean,
from
you
the
have
side.
less info.
And the damage done. I mean, listen, Kang was almost alone taking
You
that
have
fight, but
way
he would have
less
had
info.
backup at the end of the day anyway. C plant and G2. Like the tail between their legs there, going to be going all the way away. They want to save this
Like
operator.
most people aren't running the
Certainly don't want
Viper
that one to
comp
fall into enemy
because
hands.
because the Sky got
Giving that donation over to
and pretty much people are just like
probably a pretty large mistake.
it shouldn't be able to.
Who knows? Maybe they
shouldn't
wouldn't
be able
even
to
want to
work
play with
with
it
it.
on the attack side as a Neon, but Kang does love
It
to
works
attack
similar
on.
to the current one that Gen G are using. If that's
I think this round was
comparing it to.
fairly chalked right from the beginning when Icy fails his shot. Kang immediately
But as you can see, Gen
over there by
G
A-Long.
have been struggling. If you look at like the DRX game that they played against them,
Put the operator
similar
into
kind of
his
thing.
hands, as they are again by going and saving it. He's got to be hitting. With Yoru, yes, you can get out, but normally that saves you from the trade.
Right, they
not
save
if
the
you
op
miss the
blow.
first shot.
Exactly.
Got to be good for them.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard shot to hit.
Looks like
Got to
it just
wait for the
skimmed past
stun.
clean.
You got to wait for the stun and then
And this one's a
get back to
particularly
the
weird one
angle, and
because
he's like
G2 are not gonna be able
mid-slide
to buy
already.
up around their weapons that they just saved. The economy on the others is too poor for it, really. I mean, they could scrap together bulldogs
Yeah, it's
if
real
they
rough, though.
wanted to.
I mean, you don't really ever want to be doing that, put in a position to force up around the operator.
Yeah, and
Because
G2, they're going to take attack timeout, and I think half of it is going to be just discussing whether or not they want to commit here. If you take the commitment and you're in a disadvantage because of the economy, and then you lose,
You
and
would have
then
hit that
it's
though. I
9-8,
respect that.
And then you're on an eco,
Like the
so
confidence.
it's 10-8.
And you're still holding on to the operator for some reason.
Yeah,
And
it's a
just being
big,
dragged along.
big risk.
Yeah.
If G2 go for this one, it could well define the map for them. You know, if they win, they're just in it. If they lose, they might be out of it. These last couple of rounds for EDG have been absolutely vital.
I think can beat Trace on Ascent.
Re-establishing
I
their
feel like
position.
Trace did very good.
Could've
Trace probably
easily
did the
snowballed away
best
from
I've
them.
seen. Not that I've seen all the games where people play against Deadlock, but they did the best
They maintain that
game plan I've
composure
seen
to
against the
8-8
Deadlock on
here.
Ascent.
Second map of Haven, already up one here for EDG.
So I feel like they would do good
this
against
one's all
most of
about
those
putting that
comps.
slam dunk finish onto the series.
But there's some good Ascent teams out here. Gen G is very strong on
upset.
Ascent, but pretty
Can't
strong
get
on
enough of them
Ascent.
here, Champs 2024.
Yeah, Trace definitely have a very strong Ascent.
G2 have made the decision not to invest. Trent's only bringing a classic into the round.
As a coach, do you know players getting repetitive stress injuries in their hands? Bro, like so
yours.
many players have repetitive, like, I'm not sure if that's the actual injury, I don't know
Really
enough,
happy
but
for that
a
one
lot of
now.
players
It's gonna
don't
be one
stretch
away.
enough or
Lots
look
of
after
rolling
their
thunder.
hands.
Big tool to use. Assuming
It might be
this one
better now
online
than
as
it was
well,
like a
you're gonna
while
be
ago,
thinking,
but
favoured to at least get the plant or a couple of kills into this, with G2's weaponry being so low. The danger has to come from Icy or Valen.
They haven't particularly tested this C defense.
wrist injuries are very common in
been
esports.
over
Yeah,
there once or
dude, even
twice,
I mean,
but
I have a
We
dislocated
haven't
tendon
seen
just
what
from
the G2
crouching too
flood
much
defend on C
because of
looks
my
like.
keyboard setup.
They're actually running into a
I
similar
needed to tilt my
defensive,
keyboard more because it was like
problem
more
as EDG
straight.
were,
My like
where they're keeping three
little
players
finger was
A
just so
deep
out
into
to the
rounds.
side.
I mean, look at them right now. They don't have too much
Crouching
info,
IRL
deep
now
on
in game.
that kind of thing.
I'm a
so
crouch
you've just got
tapper.
no ability to pivot your players over. And
Imagine
defend
Primi,
against
but
Zentech.
just
this is just
15 years of
absolute
gaming
free
of
real estate
crouching
for
that
EDG.
much. And then without the skill.
Forwards. Taking a challenge into the smoke. Flashes won't connect. And again, playing a retake without any rifles, really, other than just Valen and the op. It's an impossibility for G2. That's the position they're going to be forced into.
Does Chichu get checked?
Whether or not to even make a go of this.
Chichu duel. Lovely from Chichu. That should decide it.
With the bodies, seeing if they can set up any sort of kills, but everybody
convincing, bro. Yeah, this guy back at site as well is causing such a distraction that they're trying to spam, and then Can can just slowly walk out and just duel them all.
Glimpse of that trophy.
Those are convincing rounds, man.
So G2 forced to go into the next without the off. Maybe it's going to be a good idea for them, because it hasn't found them too much value in the couple rounds that they've been running it. But this one wasn't really a fair one to judge. He had no chance of defending. Kang is so hyped up. You can feel the fact that if they win one more big rifle round.
What are we going for here? Because we are going for straight ups. A bit of A pressure in terms of the cage. We just want to get the orb. And honestly, G2 are on top of it. This is the person they're trying to make sure can get their ult. 26 HP.
But a dart, a bit short of the mark there, shy of it.
Yeah, but all they wanted to do was like create enough pressure to make sure they can get this ult.
C. Now, he was previously playing A a lot, so that might make them think, okay, let's not go into C. It looks like it's reinforced fairly heavily. Perhaps we can take another avenue here, a different approach. And the breach ult, as that tool in their back pocket, may end up being a fantastic asset.
Jump from nobody. Now's past this point, looking to fake this presence. They're all in front of it, cuts it up as well, but already
one person fake, but bro, there's alarm bot.
They're gonna know and be fully aware that there's really
they have full C control, and there's an alarm bot, and he ults like this. No one is buying onto that, but they do at least get a free A site. Not that the fake made it a free A site, it was just a free A site anyway, just because they were re-clearing the original pressure. So they're going to have no idea that the fake didn't work.
It's a little bit delayed and late here. They're
going to think the fake was incredible. Oi, I love this though. Yeah, that was really nice from Can. Keeping on this big duel again. Every single time we get a big duel on the flank.
It's going to have to be held. Icy, no way past it. Has to break the trip now. It's alerted him to his presence. Locked down by Smoggy. This 1v1 being taken, but the rest of G2 is being just again plucked out of the prettiest picture. Still going to be trying to win out these fights. Held over the shoulder. Down to that 2 versus 2. Kang ult in hand. Lets it rip, but again his head's on a swivel. And Trent delivers a miracle.
He gets a double there.
Get the hell out of here.
He gets a double
out of nowhere.
I'm so confused.
I had no concept that those players
you gotta show me this POV.
I assume they were
is it a lineup or is it just impressive?
Has he just hit a crazy spray transfer?
Gotta see it in a replay.
Yeah, I think it's a transfer.
You should be winning that.
And they needed that. A round loss there absolutely decimated their economy.
Right.
They needed this more than any round they've had on
Oh,
Haven.
it's fast. It's instant.
It wasn't a full lineup. That took some serious skill to pull off. Fast reactions.
Is actually insane, Jacob.
Light-hearted by the sound of
they gotta be flawless on this. We've got 4 people to get insta reset. 1-9 loss bonus. They'll be full eco if they lost this. We go fast A. Got one person solo holding A. He gets overwhelmed by the ult. A nice call from EDG on this.
It's another round where G2, if they lose, their economy's broken. They are not out of the woods yet.
Neural to try and potentially play this one into the retake. The Neural theft spots out most of the players. They know that the flank isn't really a threat right now. G2.
It was fast, yeah. Bro was on site real fast.
A lot of util to be used here.
Okay, and they understand that it's such an important round that we go Yoru all in. Yoru just pinging everyone out.
Well. They have to collect it all together. Jonah P up onto the high ground. Not enough to collect it. Drop
Whoa!
Well,
he got a double here as well. Everyone's insane. Everyone's unbelievable at spraying. On 20 HP, gets them both.
A perfect response for what Trent just did in the previous round.
Yeah, he literally just did it back to him.
Hitting a similar level of spray down. G2.
Okay. Chat, this rounds,
no economy.
This is
increase of pace as well.
Pretty much everything. It is so hard for G2 to win this now. They've got full eco. Everyone's sitting about 2,000.
Paranoia in that spot. EDG just caught them with only a single player looking to defend, reading that Trent was the only one home.
Okay, what do we got? Sheriff.
EDG should be favored to get up to
we
11
got nothing,
here.
man. We got Classic. We got a Shorty. We got a Sheriff. Frenzy. Goes.
And going to playoffs,
one of each,
the
basically.
only #1 seed that would have managed that so far.
The one that was least expected.
from inarguably the weakest region. And I don't mean that as a knock on China, just historically, trophies gained,
I think that's
in
fair.
tournaments, China hasn't been there yet.
Dude, they got the game late.
Is doing a ton
so
of heavy
fair.
lifting here at Champs.
It's the key word. The tide might be changing. EDG
He doesn't want to become the next boost. Yeah, he's got to be careful with what he says.
Much of a risk, but G2 taking a gamble of their own
Four-person
on
stack
Eco.
here.
To stack of players.
This is one of those rounds where
Some
maybe
danger,
you know what
especially if
Heretics did the other day where they bought a sheriff, so they could kind of like fraud a little bit. That would have been nice here. Not that it's going to matter, I don't think. But
Fire setup with the smokes finally blooming and blossoming, and Icy trying to flash himself in, making a play. But this is EDG up to 11.
G2 are going to have to make an adjustment to reinforce
well,
this
look at this
A-side.
as well.
It's been
Simon
such a glaring
used his
weakness
ult
in
a
their
couple of
defense
rounds
now.
ago to fake over towards C. Is 2 away.
Every pellet miss.
Who knows how that one's happened. Leaf is 1 away from getting.
Yeah, what the hell?
Trent is a couple away from a Hunter's Fury. These kind of ults can really reinforce an A-site. They work for plant denial. They
So
work for
who
a
did that
retake
last time on
protection as
Sunset?
well.
Was it Redgar?
But they're going to get them online by dying, really. That's not a great way for the end of your map to look.
No.
EDG, like I said, touching distance now.
And as we mentioned right at the beginning of this series as well, EDG, they were the top dogs in China for quite some time regionally, but they've been overshadowed a lot. Pushed to the brink by their own region. And not just that as well, they've been watching some of the other teams at this very event, even just earlier today.
G2 right now
them.
must be thinking of getting picked up.
EDG not willing to go down
EDG with the amount of
quietly.
pressure they had here last time might go for like a
Wanna show the
fast
strength
B,
of their
thinking there'll be
region, the strength
loads
of
of
their
people
team,
here.
the improvements that have
Or
been
fast
made.
garage, yeah, I like that.
I'm dead impressed. The pace.
Dude, they got
the
some
tempo.
really good, like
Turned
they've
up,
dry run a
increase off
lot
the
of
back
this
of it.
stuff. Like a lot of their
Committed,
fast
in
stuff
fact,
is
just
really
broken.
good.
Kang trying to play himself in.
Like
It's
the
doubled up.
dodging of the stuns
Movement
here, you
slightly
slide
ajar enough to
through.
just offset all of it.
Ooh,
And
their stuff
pre-flies
over
into the
towards
corner,
A
onto
with the
the
stun
Fury,
and
getting the
sliding out as
supplement,
well
and
was
push
really
back
nice.
EDG away from this C site.
G2 are using huge amounts of ultimates here, but it is getting them the value. 5v3 and G2 are looking to re-clear over towards Garage.
Wasn't picked up. GG's got it now.
Does he realize his back? He's got enemies there.
Silent drop down Leaf. He nails it. Chichu drops, so does the spike. Nobody going for another reclamation. No, my goodness. Smoggy
Hey, they need money, man.
can
They
only do
need
so
money.
much into this spot.
It won't go down.
He's got the time to work with, but unfortunately, insurmountable odds.
Hey,
And it's all set
huge.
against them here. G2
Double
will
armory,
not go
mate.
down themselves.
And that was a good setup. They had Viper's Pit over towards A, reinforcing that site that has been a weakness for them. They deal with Kankan by doubling up, break that Omen ultimate. They've even got the Sova ult that comes through, denying a Garage split. Everything there worked the way that G2 would have thought it up. But now they don't have the Hunter's Fury. Now they don't have the Pit to reinforce the A site. So now it becomes incredibly important that we see a change around in the defensive setup for G2. The A site has been a massive weakness. EDG are going to try to exploit that. Or fake that they're going to try to exploit
I like this
that.
though. Recon
3
in.
players cemented in place
They're
for
sure.
G2 on A.
They have the cage if they need to
Icy
retake
incentivized to
this.
go for
They
the push
show
roll
early
down C.
aggro pressure over
Yes,
towards
he's
A.
ballsy. Yes,
He's
he has the
keeping
gate
2
crash,
here.
but
We
he's
can see
taking
it's
his
3.
time
They're
as
going to
well.
finger
Nobody
2
He's
ahead.
droned up and right ahead of it. Nobody.
With no
Bursts
one
it down,
else
beam
with him.
down. Where's the follow-up?
This
and through? It's up
solo
through
drone
Garage.
fake.
And Kang
Yeah, shout out to G2. The push over towards long here from Icy was everything.
Making sure to shore up those defenses with the reinforcements now scattering and arriving. There are some potential holes here into the setup, and Chichu has found one of them.
That turret might have been placed wrong. They could maybe abuse that later.
Very safe positioning there from Icy and Leaf. They don't want to get caught out. They're happy to give the C site over. They've got lockdown for the retake. As long as Leaf doesn't die right now.
Why not play
And
like
does
that? 3v5, don't give
He
away
get tempted to
unnecessary
use something.
advantages. Fault line, push into the spawn. Smoggy wants to go
Really
at things, but it did
nice,
not
man.
connect.
It was a
Not
great
onto
round from
Not
Icy.
this time, Simon.
G2 just had a very good
plan.
idea that no matter what,
Stuck
they're
in
going to
place,
try and get a
Chichu's
kill
still
before they
there,
go for a
pushing
plant
forwards.
here.
Aftershock as well. It's all highlighted and orchestrated like they want to try and fight this once again, and G2 are fully aware. Anti-flash.
Bro, it ate so
Dive
much
to the back.
util. Oh my
A
god,
playmaking
what a
ability by
nightmare.
Icy. Sacrificing his own body for her, but he's still the
That was
one
a
to come up
Valorant
with the
moment
kill.
there. Nice
Simon
shot.
has got to do so much
Nice
more.
shot.
Kills are offered up towards him,
Wow,
but not
bro.
enough in the end. G2
That was kind of
collected all
doable.
together, playing together with that discipline that's highlighted this team. as a major strength all throughout.
A little extra sidestep on that. It was this guy.
That A fake was such a beautiful call from EDG.
Right, it was so good. It's just the fact that this guy's reaction was nice.
Long should have been punished if nobody had a single other player with him. Icy goes down in this spot. You gotta think it. And yet both of their players that were in more solo positions, Nobody and Kang, both fell. 11-11.
The thing. What's the thing? The flash off the wall, jump out?
Here. Oh, EDG are taking attack timeout.
Okay.
They were all set up. We could see on the minimap, all set up to go for an A hit. I would imagine it wasn't going to be
another about the emote at the end?
Oh,
okay.
The psychology of the way the players normally play the
finisher
game.
emote.
If you run a fake play and it doesn't work, and the only thing that's been working for you recently is the big site execs on A, I would expect EDG to just go for it. Maybe the coach has hit the button here because he didn't like what the call was. When things are getting to crunch time.
Possibly getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, I can see the economy. Of course, there's options for EDG.
So if you're the coach at the moment,
into his hands.
Good success on A.
So if you're going to be going into
at least making sure that you've 100% taking an A control, I imagine is what the talk is going to be. If they're an eco, this could be one of those rounds where you maybe look at the turret over towards B and at least kind of see if you could get under.
Way of playing the game? No, not really. But does he?
I would expect there to be a different change-up blow from Leaf.
More often than he should, I would say.
I would more confidently just focus on A here. At the very least, I'm A defaulting.
G2 to be playing in retake position.
I'd sound, wait for him to repush, just hit sight.
Attacking team has breach ult, defending team has killjoy ult.
I'm kind of shocked garage.
Defenders to be playing retake quite a lot of the time, which means that EDG might want to try to take the site for free and not use that breach ult. You might get some weird situations here where Simon's trying to be a bit greedy, hold it for post plant, and gets punished.
11-11.
The attack op.
Nice and cautious here by EDG. They're hoping,
with a comp,
praying that somebody will just peek
struggles to get info once you've created it, and people have to jump spot like this or jiggle peek like this. It's a really good call.
Side of things, G2 also go on exploration. Oh, Garage does manage to fire a few bullets necessary, takes out the alarm bot.
And now Nobody actually has
got a rifle to shoot this.
Right? He's not going to get timinged.
All from Icy. This is going to be used roughly around the minute mark. He needs that mid-round information for the rest of his team. Spotting two of these players in through mid. Pretty big tell. Exiting out.
Yeah, it looked like they kind of did a bit of both. They wanted to work over towards
well, so a slow and steady play by EDG.
And they did a default.
This goes. Oh, Kang misses it with a
that's,
shoulder peek.
That's a chance.
The
that is an
now there
opportunity.
for G2. They do not want to offer any more chances. Shock dart.
Do they want to leave site because of Killjoy ult?
Played, but A-Long has been given up with only 35 seconds. This looks like it's moving.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he ain't picking that one again.
Tempt him twice. Rolling Thunder now committed. Paranoia alongside it. Valen is tucked safe. Nicely inside the orb. Stunned up. Matters not.
Everyone's flooded onto site. There's so many people here.
As well to play into the back pocket. The rest of his team are already played all the way in. Simon weaving in and out. Nowhere to play.
Don't have
the
time to go
his
out.
Hands, he just has to let the time run way out. And G2, they've stolen this round away. When all the
and they use breach all
like
into it. Nicely done from G2. They're going to have one chance to finish this.
For G2.
Map. What the whole thing.
What a beautiful adjustment from Jonah P of where he put that Viper.
Yeah, I mean,
we've been seeing it towards
this is their old school
entrance.
smoke. But they haven't been using this for a little bit.
Making that shift to put it in a more standard
what they've been doing is it was one of those things where
they
just for like the first three,
Valen hunkered down inside of it.
The first 3-4 rounds, just change it up with the smoke over towards long once they see it there, and then they go back to their normal default.
Match point. We're 12-11 right here. This is where we end it, boys. This is where we end it.
And that's confident from G2.
I mean, this is just the classic where you just change something up for like the first 4 rounds.
11-9 down.
They feel like they have to or can't go somewhere.
You gotta close teams out like G2.
Kang's going to take matters into his own hands here. All the util to set it up. Another fast play from EDG. Again, an open
and leaves in position to spawn to use his ult here.
Through the link as well, but G2 and none playing towards it. Wizened up to the tricks of the
we
trade.
have a perma block of vision here, no matter what.
Nice and freely. No more util has to be used here by G2. Drone in through the back. Trent's going to be threatening, like it could be making a play for this one.
Alarm bot for the garage reflank. They're going to know about this.
They don't have
Already
too
passed it,
much
though.
on.
Lambot triggers, Jonah P diffusing half onto the board. This is for the map. Someone needs to stop this. Someone needs to stop this.
It's a
but
full
no one
stick.
is there.
The full
G2
stick. So they go for the
right
plant
from
in the
beneath
middle,
them.
and
They
not the
steal
one
the
that's like
map
in the
away.
corner. So you have
And
either
Find
side,
is
and then just
fated
sticks
to
on the side
happen.
and just diffuses it. And they don't have the
I
killjoy,
think
so
steal
they
is
don't
the
have the
perfect
mollies.
word